Back deep for the Packers, Harlan Huckabee, number 25. Huckabee is a real specialist for this ball club. Last week in the second half against the Cardinals, he had a 54-yard kickoff return in the second half that really got him started. So here's the kick, and our ball game is underway. Huckabee at the 5. And brought down about the 12-yard line of the Green Bay Packers. That's where the Packers will take over first and 10. Tackle there made by number 45, James Davis. Here's a look at the Green Bay Packers offensive backs and receivers. Lynn Dickey, Gary Ellis, Jesse Clark, James Lofton, and John Jefferson, the two fine receivers we talked about. The offensive line, Henry Childs, Carl Swanky, Dressler, McCarron, Kitson, and Cook.
Ball spotted at the 12-yard line.
We'll get a look at the Raider defense in just a moment. First and 10 for the Packers at their own 12-yard line. Dickey back to pass. Complete to Gary Ellis, but tackled there by Reggie Kinlaw, number 62, the man they call the lawman. All right, the defense for the defending Super Bowl champions. Howie Long, Reggie Kinlaw, who just made the tackle, and Lyle Alzado, the 3 down linemen. The linebackers, and they are a good group. Stanley Adams, who's filling in for the retired Ted Hendricks, Matt Millen, Bob Nelson, and, of course, Rod Martin. In the secondary, Lester Hayes, Mike Haynes, Mike Davis, and Van McElroy. And they are considered one of the finest defensive secondaries in all of professional football. And it's Dickey back to pass again. Lyle Alzado, number 77, was the first to get in and put in pressure. And Mike Davis on a safety blitz came in and made the sack.
And you see there's a Packer down on the field. Take a look at it from the end zone. Carl Swanky, number 67. Watch the right side of your screen. He's trying to block Lyle Alzado. There is pressure up the middle. Dickey tries to scramble out, but he runs right into Alzado, and Swanky can't handle him as there's a Packer down on the field.
And that looks like Dickey. And if it is Lynn Dickey, it is really going to be a serious blow for the Packers if he has to leave the ball game. Back at the Coliseum, along with John Dockery, I am Jim Hill. No score here in the first period. The defending Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Raiders going against the Green Bay Packers, and it is the Raiders' first possession. And Plunkett hands off to Marcus Allen. All right, here's a look now at the starting offensive unit for the defending world champions. Jim Plunkett, of course, at quarterback. Marcus Allen, Kenny King, the running backs. Cliff Branch and Malcolm Barnwell, the wide receivers. The offensive line, Todd Christensen, Bruce Davis, Charlie Hanna, Jim Romano filling in for the injured Mickey Marvin there. And Dave Don Mosbar, I should say, is in. Henry Lawrence. Jim Romano is in for Dave Dalby. And Mosbar in for Mickey Marvin. And Plunkett back to pass. Complete to Malcolm Barnwell up about the 29-yard line, which would be just short of a first down. Tackle there made by George Cumbie. A look at the Packer defense, and it is a young one. Carricker and Humphrey are the 2 young rookies. Of course, Terry Jones is a man in the middle. The 2 rookies, we're told, are going to be just outstanding football players. Their linebackers, a set of good ones. Anderson Scott, Cumbie, and Mike Mad Dog Douglas. In the secondary, Mark Lee, Tim Lewis, Mark Murphy, and Tom Flynn, who is a rookie back there, and he's a young man that's on the spot.
Frank Hawkinson on the backfield.
3rd and 1 for the Raiders. Hand off to Allen. And he stopped short of the first down. As a matter of fact, he may have lost about a half a yard there. Tackle there made by Bill Neal for the Raiders at their own 37-yard line. No score. And Plunkett back to pass. Gets pressure, throws downfield, complete to Cliff Branch. Branch tackled by Tim Lewis at the midfield stripe, and it is enough yardage for the first down. Also, number 79, Donnie Humphrey, in on the tackle.
Jim Plunkett will stand in. Take a look at Branch right here, working on the inside. That little bump, Branch drives the defensive back, Mark Lee, to the outside, come back and make the ball. Is actually Tim Lewis. Here's Plunkett after he throws the ball. Blitz is on. You see Douglas, number 52, coming, and then he's hit by Randy Scott and pays the price for that completion.
1st and 10 for the Raiders at the 50-yard line. And it's Plunkett going back to pass again. Good protection. Complete to Malcolm Barnwell. Jim Plunkett going to Malcolm Barnwell. First down for the Raiders deep in Packer territory. That play good for 32 yards.
And Jim, if you're number 37, Mark Murphy, playing the deep zone, and that rush does not get to the quarterback, you're in deep trouble because Christensen's going down the middle. Murphy has to respect him. Therefore, it leaves Barnwell open on the outside.
3rd and 3 for the Raiders. Plunkett to pass. Touchdown, Todd Christensen.
The best play near the goal line in football is the rollout, the pass-run option. Plunkett does not want to run the ball. He's been around too long. Here he has too much time, and Christensen, like a basketball player under the boards, uses his body against Scott, goes up. See Scott behind him. He actually had good coverage. But Todd Christensen, 6'3", 230, went up, used that body, and Scott, who's only 6'1", couldn't get him.
The conversion by Chris Barr is good. We're all looking forward to those highlights from the U.S. Open Tennis Championships. But right now, a minute 42 left in the first half. The Packers have the ball in Raider territory. Here's a reverse to James Lofton. And Wright's out leading for a block. James Lofton on the reverse. Forced out of bounds at about the 31-yard line of the Los Angeles Raiders, good for 17 yards.
And of course, we've seen Lofton do that before, take the reverse and go all the way. But watch the quarterback, number 16, Randy Wright, out in front, take down number 59, Stanley Adams, right, bing, right there, gives Lofton a little extra running room. Look at that speed. He turns it on for some extra yards.
1:29 left in the first half. 2nd and 10 for the Packers at the Raider 31-yard line. Gary Ellis, run pass, complete to Henry Childs at about the 14-yard line of the Raiders. So the Packers right now are pulling out all stops. They are coming up with all kinds of trick plays. They had the reverse. They had the run pass, good for 17 yards. And Lynn Dickey told us yesterday, he says, we may even have a run pass in there, and there it is.
But who does Gary Ellis think he is? Marcus Allen? This is a nice throw. Takes the ball very coolly. Here you see some motion to make it look like a run. He gets a little lead block out in front. And then he just flips the ball to Childs, who catches it in the hands, as you should. First down. Great field position.
The Packers are driving right now. They have the ball 2nd down and 3 yards to go at the Raiders' 7-yard line. And, you know, this is typically where the Packers really have you where they want you, especially when Lynn Dickey is in there, because from the 10-15-yard line on in, they aren't afraid to throw the ball, especially on quick slant patterns.
Or the quick takeoff to Lofton with the great speed and the good size.
Randy Wright at quarterback. And he's back to pass. Touchdown, Ed West. Randy Wright scrambling around, moving inside and out, hitting Ed West in the end zone for a touchdown. Mike Davis on the coverage there. And once again, we were told a little bit by Lynn Dickey that they wanted to make Mike Davis cover one-on-one on their tight ends.
But you're saying to yourself, who the heck is Ed West? Well, he's the backup tight end, and he's picking up the slack. Here, though, it's really Wright. Taking time. He's got the mobility. Bing West makes the catch. Davis is too far off. But how often have you seen one player pick up the slack for another? Kaufman's out. Childs is tiring, so West makes the catch for the touchdown.
Eddie Garcia to attempt the extra point. And it's good. So the Green Bay Packers, behind backups, come back to tie the game with 57 seconds left. The Packers do not have anyone back deep. They don't want to take any chances, and they may even try to block it here. And they just let Guy punt it away. A booming kick. Inside the 10-yard line, down to about the 7. And on that punt by Ray Guy, that is the end of the first half. 2nd and 10. Toss back to Marcus. He fumbles the ball, and Cliff Branch picks it up and gets down to just about the 1-inch line, it looks like.
Is it sometimes better to be lucky than good? Marcus Allen coughs the ball up. Take a look at it here. It's the old pitch, right? The I pitch. He brings it upfield, carrying the ball on the inside hand, and he actually kicks it with his own knee. But look at Cliff Branch here. Oh yeah, it'll come to me. He almost gets in the end zone, but no dice. What luck for the Raiders. That's exactly what I was going to say. They trailed 7-0. They got 24 straight points to win 24-14 last week. Second half, they're on fire here early.
Frank Hawkins again. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Frank Hawkins, who usually comes in those short yardage and goal line situations, spins and turns his way in for the touchdown. And the Raiders now lead at 13-7, trying to make it 14.
He's got that low center of gravity here. And watch, right there, you see number 52, George Cumbie, can't hold on. Hawkins is only 5'9", 210 pounds. Hard to grab onto.
Chris Barr for the extra point. It is good. White back to pass. Throws deep down the field. Intercepted by Van McElroy. Van McElroy, who Lester Hayes told us was the best free safety he has ever played with, comes up with an interception as the ball was intended for John Jefferson.
The third-year player out of Baylor is where he should be. The Raider defense is a classic defense in the secondary. Man-to-man on the outside. They rely upon the free safety being in the middle, going to the ball. That's exactly where he was.
It is not quite as hot and humid as we expected it to be. A lot of people thought it would be about 95, but with the cloud covering, it's down in the low 80s now. Here's Kenny King.
And off to Kenny King.
King tackled by Mike Douglas.
Stopped at the 36-yard line by Mike Douglas.
You know, most people talk about Marcus Allen and they forget about Kenny King. I mean, he's undersized for a fullback at 5'11", 305, but Kenny King, you recall, Jim, was the man who helped to take them to a Super Bowl and to win it a few years back. So Kenny King, when you look at his career stats, they're impressive. Almost 4.5 yards a carry. Outstanding speed, 6-year man out of Oklahoma.
And with that carry by Kenny King, that was along with John Dockery, I'm Jim Hill as we begin the fourth period. Hand off to Marcus Allen. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Marcus Allen, behind excellent blocking up front by his offensive line, takes it in from 8 yards out, and the Raiders now lead 20-7. Matt Barr is in to attempt the extra point. And it is good. Raiders. So the Los Angeles Raiders lead it 21-7, 6 plays, going 55 yards, taking 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Of course, capped off by the 8-yard run by Marcus Allen.
And if you're the Raider offensive coordinator, you have to be happy with certain plays. The first drive, 8 plays, 63 yards, and then an 8-play, 60-yard drive, and now this fine drive. So they've been consistent offense. It really hasn't been the big play bomb so characteristic of the Raiders.
First and 10 for Green Bay. Right play action pass. Intended for Henry Childs and knocked down there by Matt Millen. Matt Millen coming up with a very good defensive effort, knocking the ball away from Henry Childs, who had it in his hands temporarily. And Wright goes back to pass. Intercepted by Jeff Barnes. Barnes, who comes in passing situations. A great role player comes up with the interception. He's knocked out of bounds by Jesse Clark.
And credit that interception to the incredible strength of Howie Long, number 75. He occupies 2 men, and that allows number 99, watch the right side of your screen, 99, watch this, come around the outside, put a little pressure on the quarterback. He doesn't see Barnes, the interception. Howie Long is just so strong that you can't block him with 1 man. And of course, in an end tackle game, you see number 99 come around the outside. After Long, watch him here, occupies 2 men. All right, that's Swanky trying to handle him. They can't handle him. He rushes inside, and he even gets to the quarterback through 2 men.
So with a great pass rush, Jeff Barnes comes up with an interception to give the Raiders the ball inside Packer territory. Plunkett goes back to pass. Intended for Cliff Branch. Intercepted in the end zone.
Oh, what a big play by Tim Lewis. Good recovery, Jim, and you can appreciate that. Branch actually had him for a step. The ball wasn't thrown soon enough, hard enough, or far enough, so Lewis had time to recover. Branch, I'm amazed after 13 years how Branch can still fly. Take a look at him here. They're playing some man-to-man. It's half bump and run. It's half man-to-man. See, he loses him there for a minute, but the ball's not thrown far enough out. He makes a good recovery.
Packers have the ball at their own 25-yard line. Rich Campbell, 3 wide receivers in for the Packers. And he's back to pass again as expected. I think that's probably what Campbell said when Howie Long just hit him. Oh.
Because you know what he was doing? He was looking at Greg Townsend, number 93, who was containing the play, and he never saw Howie Long. Howie Long went, oh, flew into him. What a hit. How would you like to be a quarterback in the NFL? Take a look at what it requires to be and the hits you have to take. Here's Campbell dropping back. He tries to buy a little time by rolling out. Here, he's contained, and he never sees. Oh, he greets him right in the chin strap. Does that hurt? Whew.
There is no question that Howie Long is one of the finest defensive linemen in all of professional football.
And you know what I think is interesting about him? He says, I am the blue-collar defensive end. I'm not the glamour boy like Mark Gastineau. I play the run, I play the pass. I play every down.
And as a result, the Raiders take over. Here's a handoff to Marcus Allen again. Shifting directions. Marcus Allen getting down inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line.
You cannot teach instinct, and that's what Marcus Allen has. He glides, he moves. Here it's an improvisational play. He cuts back. He's probably one of the best cutback runners in the game, and he just slithers his way through. See him switch the ball there? You know how much control you have to use the straight arm. He straight arms number 53 and get some extra yards.
And for as good as Marcus Allen is, the thing that people have to remember that this is only the 5th year that he's been at the running back position, counting pro and in college. And Jensen gets in for the score. Capped off by a nice little easy toss to the official.
But isn't that a nice gesture? Derek Jensen, listed as a tight end, 6th year out of Texas Abilene, well liked by his teammates, the captain of the special teams. They give him that touchdown close to the goal line. Means a lot to him, would mean less to Marcus Allen.
So the Raiders, with a couple of breaks, have worn down the Packers here in the second half. Chris Barr in to attempt the extra point. Once again, straight and true. 2nd and 2. Campbell back to pass. Completed to Del Rogers again. And once again, Larry McCoy in on the tackle. 1 second left in the ball game, and it is history. So the Los Angeles Raiders, after being tied by the Packers at halftime 7-7, come back to score 3 touchdowns in the second half, and they defeat the Green Bay Packers 28-7. So the Raiders win their home opener